Well, thank you again for taking the time to chat with us. Just getting right into it, I know that when you were speaking earlier today, you were talking a little bit about your guest journey and kind of how you want to connect with them on a one-to-one basis and kind of continue it after they've already visited. So obviously, Panera in general has built a really strong reputation, especially as it relates to customer loyalty. How do you go beyond like the transactional rewards on a one-off basis and kind of maintain that journey throughout?
Yeah. Yeah, so the very purpose of our digital journey or digital experience is about making it easy to order. So we talk about it in terms of effortless digital journey. But more importantly, how do you over time build a stronger connection with our guests through personalization, through being meaningful in terms of what they're looking for, whether it is giving them value, whether it is educating them further about the food that we have. We have a broad menu. And really bringing them closer to their occasion and where Panera can fit in their lives. And, in terms of the loyalty program, we've had it for a long time. It's been there since 2011. And it's different to what's out there in terms of our competitors. It's, most folks have points-based or a spend-based program. We've had more of a surprise and delight, which is more personalized to you. And it gives you some choice in terms of what you get at the end, but it's a bit of you don't know what you're going to get. And oftentimes we've heard that while it was great in the beginning, we've heard that as something that our guests have craved, that they want more control. So recently we've introduced more challenges. We've created an arm of more of a customer relationship management through our loyalty connections that we have with guests. We've also launched our subscription program, which is something that really engages our guests because of the disruptive value that it has provided. Yep.
Got it. That's great. So that's obviously a lot to manage when you're speaking to your guests, right, in all these different formats, whether it be email or text message, et cetera. But they do expect a seamless experience, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of like the balance that you must have to play. So how does Panera really ensure consistency when speaking, knowing that you want to go so personalized with each of these guests? How do you also ensure consistency in terms of the value that you're providing to your customers?
Yeah, I think the idea is for it to feel absolutely seamless omni-channel experience, right? You may have ordered one day when you come into the cafe through our kiosk, or identified yourself as a My Panera loyalty member and ordered with the associate on the POS, but the next day you may want to order delivery and do it in the app. And in all of this, you want them to remember what you did. So it starts, I would say, with very robust and a strong data foundation. We need to have an individual guest level database. And I know that's not the cool stuff that you end up doing, but that's the basis of doing everything else that we are striving for. So having strong data, having it all stitched together. So to the guest, it is very, very seamless. That's what we do end up doing. And I think it's having that strong data foundation which has enabled it. And then building a right MarTech layer on it. We have a very strong engagement platform which is able to bring those ideas to life in a seamless way.
Amazing. That actually leads exactly into the next question I was going to ask. Obviously, there's this element of managing data, but then also AI. So knowing that AI paired with data-driven insights are really kind of transforming the way that brands are engaging with these consumers, how do you guys typically leverage AI to fuel automation to kind of help curate those moments with the consumer?
Yeah. We do use AI to really speed up some of that one-to-one connection at scale. So it's about what you would have wanted to do when you have, in a rule-based manner, you identified personas, you identified customer, you understand their preference, but being able to operationalize it and do it at scale on a regular basis is where AI has really helped us. So we're able to do that decisioning engine and utilize machine learning and predictive AI to do that. And present to you in an email at the right moment, whether it's a value offer that is going to move you or understand that it's about an early knowledge on an LTO that's coming out, right? A limited product that we're about to launch in the category that you love. that is what's going to drive your connection, your engagement with the brand. And that's how we've used AI to be able to do that. It's having that knowledge and having the infrastructure to enable it, to bring it to life and action on it, which I would say was the hard part before, but I think AI is enabling that to go much faster.
Yeah, I was going to ask what the biggest challenge was, but I feel like being able to do it in a quick and, scalable fashion,
Yeah.
and you guys have done it extremely well and extremely fast, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you guys have truly been focused on more of this loyalty angle for about the last, 5 years or so, since you've been on board. So that's great. Okay, so with so much content, right, taking a step back and looking at more of the media angle, content is always competing for attention, right? There's a lot of different channels, knowing that you still want to connect the consumer to wherever they are. There's a lot of competing factors. So how does Panera ensure that its ads and its digital messaging are actually placed in the right environments so that you're kind of maintaining the connection between where the consumer is, but then also the brand values, right? Because people like all different types of content and things, and you want to make sure that you're showing up in the moments that matter.
Yeah. Yeah, showing up in moments that matter where you have their attention and with the message that you want. That's the magic, and that's really, that's what we need to ensure that it's happened consistently, right? So we think about our media buy as a full funnel, right? While we have really above the line, the top of the funnel TV just breaking through the awareness, we go down. We are very deliberate about how we purchase in the more targeted digital channels. We have a great media partner that we work with, and we put that brand safety and brand messaging and brand resonance very, very. It's very critical to us in how we approach that, and also understanding the guests that we reach. Right, the ability to stitch together our first-party data, our paid, owned, earned strategy that we talk about in an overall 360 campaign. It's really bringing that to life and utilizing the pipes in a way that can inform what's happening on different angles. That becomes key.
Got it. And when you were saying you kind of meet people where they are, right?
Yeah.
And you're talking a little bit about we don't necessarily care if you order online or if you're going in store. Would you say that the priority ranks similar across the board? You truly just want to get the consumer, or get in front of the consumer, kind of doesn't matter where.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It matters in terms of where they are, where they have the interest, right? It really starts with the guest and understanding who they are when they interact with Panera and what they're doing outside of that. So that is the notion of making sure we're bringing convenience, right? So we do have delivery, we have rapid pickup, we have drive-through, but we also have in-cafe experience, which is equally important. And making sure that we're able to meet the guests where they are in times of their occasion, and that in turn determines the media in terms of when we talk to them, when they're on the go, when they're leaned in and, on the go and on their small screen, on their app and doing things. They're probably in a bit more of a hurried state of mind, and that's a different occasion that we can meet. Or as a leaned back, you're sitting down and you're watching big TV and it's a whole family together, and where do we show up, right? That's why our media placements it's about efficiency, but it's also about impact.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that transforms over time too, right? Because if you're speaking to the same consumer when they're 22 versus 42, right, you want to make sure that journey looks tailored to wherever they are.
Exactly.
All right, last question.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, what's one digital or AI-driven innovation in customer engagement that excites you?
Yeah, I would say, it's not necessarily one. I definitely think AI is going to disrupt the speed to market with which different ideas come to play. But what I am most excited about is how we are able to utilize that and bring in the brand equity into play a lot more faster. So, for instance, we have an amazing breadth of menu in terms of different occasions, different categories. It's soup, salad, sandwiches, bakery item, breakfast item. But when being able to identify what a guest resonates with most with the brand and making the digital experience more customized to that all the way. So today we have personalizations, which is able to tell you based on your past behavior. It's able to tell you in terms of your preference and what you have shared with us. I'm excited about, and I don't know if this is going to happen right away, but I'm excited about almost everybody opening up their Panera app and having it completely cater to them based on your preferences. Being able to generate that. So that's where generative AI, working together with the brand promise, working together with the data that we have, can really make it very, very tangible benefit to have an app as a way to experience Panera.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everybody wants options that they know are relevant to them. Just creates a better ecosystem with the brand and the consumer, for sure.
Yeah.
And the very last question, if you had to order only one thing on the Panera menu, what would it be?
I love our Mediterranean veggie sandwich. I would do a you pick two of that.
Love it.
Because you can always have two, right? That's
Yes, why wouldn't you?
I would do that with our broccoli cheddar soup.
That's what I was going to say. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And it was so wonderful to learn more about the way you think about Panera.
Absolutely. Thank you.